Hi, this is Wesley.
This is Kashina.
And we would like to welcome you to
the Underground Geek Shack. Not
video game edition.
I was saying not the video game edition. As a little teaser, because I don't know when exactly the videos will be up by the time of this recording. We've been starting to delve into the world of video game recording, and I have to say we finished one game and we're in the middle of another game.
Yeah.
Wes, would you like to mention the name of the game that we just finished?
We just finished World of Horror. A Junji Ito in her words, a Junji Ito roguelike experience.
It is, but we're not here to talk about that today. That's just letting you know what could be in the future, and we will probably talk about it on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
But for right now, hey Wes.
Hi.
Do you actually...
We're not going to do that today.
We're not going to do that today.
We're going to keep this short.
Yeah, because we have some frustrations to vent out there, and I feel like a lot of people has probably already been talking about it, but we felt like we needed to give our inputs into it as well. So, Wes, how about you introduce to us what we're going to be talking about today?
So, the thing we're going to be talking about today is Demon Slayer. It's the Swordsmith Village arc, which technically isn't actually a movie. What we experienced.
It is, yes. Okay, so let's talk about our individual experiences. Wes, what is your current, as your knowledge of the anime? We're going to go into manga knowledge later, because I know you technically finished with the manga. But up to the point of the movie, how much of the anime have you seen?
I've seen Season 1, Mugen Train, and then Season 2.
Okay.
So that's
So you were basically current before you came to the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, keep that in mind, y'all. So you were current. Okay, so for me, it is... Okay, so anime-wise, Demon Slayer Season 1, Mugen Train, and then I didn't have a chance to watch Season 2, and I still haven't had that chance to, but I plan on watching it soon. However, I've basically been told I don't have to worry about that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm right at the beginning of Season 2. I need to start it, but that was my knowledge before the movie. So, Wesley, how about you tell us what the movie is?
You mean the one episode?
No, I'm talking about the movie that was presented in the movie theater.
Alright, so we get in, right? It's me, my brother, and his fiance. So the three of us go in. So we get hit with the opening for Demon Slayer. That was sung by Lisa.
Yeah.
So we get hit with that opening. I did a little dance for almost.
I was so happy
for almost all the songs. So we got that one. We got Mugen Train. We got that song, and then I was like, all right. Had to see the death of Rengoku all over again.
Oh man, that was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, and then we got the opening for season. Technically, we got the opening for Season 2 and for Mugen Train, because they retold Mugen Train within Season 2.
Yeah.
So we got that opening, and then we actually got the bop of a bop from actual Season 2.
Yeah.
The Entertainment District.
Okay.
And then I leaned over, and I told my brother's fiance, I was like, they better be glad their songs are a bop.
They better be glad their songs. So, at that point,
I was
because I want to go into this like an interview style kind of thing, right? Because, like I said, I haven't watched Season 2, so I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, oh, they're playing all the themes. Even though, technically, I came into this movie with insider's knowledge, because Wesley watched it 2 days before me, and he was so pissed. And I already had plans, me and my fiance and a couple of friends of ours was like, okay, we're going to go watch it on Sunday. You watched it Friday night, then it came out.
Opening night.
You watched it opening night, and you came home, and he was like, I just have to talk. I'm so angry. I was like, Wesley, you okay? He was like, I'm just so bad. So I was like, okay, you know what?
Because I tried really hard not to spoil you on it, and I was like, and you were just like, you sound like you want to say something. I was like, I do, but I can't.
And so I said, all right, cool, you can tell me, but I'm not gonna say that right now because I want you to basically tell them what you experienced. But yeah, so he basically told me what he experienced. So I came in Sunday, nervous, silent, because I didn't, my fiance and our friends, they didn't know, but I was like, I have the insider's knowledge. I already know what's going to happen. I'm just here to see everyone else's reactions. I'll tell you my experience in the theater as well, because it was hilarious. So I'm going to do this to you interview style. Mm-hmm. So when the openings were playing, did you feel anything that was off? Did you feel like, why are they playing all the openings?
No, well, because like at first when they played all the openings, I was like, all right. This is a good recap. This is a good recap. All right, I'm good with this. And then I heard the ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. I was like, all right, we doing this. I was like, we're getting into the entertainment.
When I heard it, because I haven't heard it yet, but when I heard it from there, I was like, oh my god.
I was like, all right, we going in. Then I was like, all right, interesting recap. And then when it hit that opening, I was like, all right, we doing this. We I was like, the movie about to like pop off right now. And then it went episode 10, and I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, so you know, all the openings, he was like, yeah, the movie's about to start. And then you hear,
and then we're just like, I was like, wait a minute, what? And then we just see episode 10, and I was like, they are not playing episode 10 right when the movie's supposed to start, are they? And then from my experience, right, they played episode 10. I was like, all right, we get to relive the fight. I'm not upset about it.
Okay.
I'm cool with it. Okay. And then tell me why they replayed episode 10.
Nothing but
they replayed episode 10 for us, and then I looked at my brother. I said, "Was it that good? They had to play it twice." And so I said it loud enough so everyone in the theater could hear.
God!
And so somebody was like, "I know, right?" And so, like, you know, after that, then they played episode 11, and then I could still hear the. And I was like, all right. And so they played episode 11. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I looked at my brother and his fiance, and they looked at me. They're like, so when's the movie supposed to start? And we were like, I was like, I wish I knew, but I don't. I'm not in control. I said, if it was me up in the freaking booth right now, I would be like munching on popcorn, making sure we living good.
We living good. All right. So
then after that, and then, you know, it shows episode 11, and then I was like, that can't be it. Because then, you know, it showed credits rolling and everything. Yeah. And I was like, I legit sat there and I was like, you mean to tell me I came into this to watch 2 episodes of season 2 just to leave? I was like, heck no. And then they were like, oh, you thought that was it? Here, now the movie actually starts. And we were like, okay, good. Now the movie actually can get good. In my opinion, I thought we were going to get a lot more. And then it starts. We were all right. I was like, all right, cool. And then, you know, we actually get to, you know, see Tanjiro. You know, he has his dream. He is meeting with one of his ancestors.
We see the whole meeting with Muzan and stuff like that.
The demons carried. I must just say that straight. The demons carried most of this.
Literally, I'm gonna interject in here just for one quick moment, because I just want to say, literally, when the movie started, man, I was like, man, these graphics. I was like, the graphics of this. What is going on, dude? I was like, who is the studio of this again? It's ufotable. So I was like, yo, ufotable, your graphics, man, freaking superb. This isn't a video game. What is up with these graphics, man? I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, whoa, what is this? This is so good.
like when we actually got to see all the demons,
yeah,
I was hyped. I was legit hyped. I was like, all right, we actually get to see Upper Moon 1 Kokoshibo, and I was like, yo, and I had to hold my excitement, right? Yeah. Because I was like, if I don't, I'm literally about to spoil this entire arc.
Cause dude, let me tell you, when I first saw the Upper Moon, I think it's like Upper Moon 2, the dude with like the white hair with the splatter, I was like, that's a weird like hairstyle anyway. But okay, so I'm gonna just interject this like really funny tidbit in here for a second. when I saw him, like the only thing that I could think in my mind, the only word, it's not terrifying, it's not scary. The one word was daddy. I was like, who is this guy? It's like, oh my god, Dad?
And he has a cult of his own.
Dad? Alright. But yes, it's funny because I turned over to my friend and I said that she was like, you're stupid.
And so I was like, all right. And then they're like, oh, is Upper Moon 1 here? Yeah, he was the first one to arrive. And then
you see him like sitting off.
He's just sitting there, and I was like, oh my god, it's him. And then if ufotable does this right, if they do this right, you will know why I'm excited.
Okay.
Because you'll see the flashback of Upper Moon 1 and the dude that we met in Tanjiro's dream.
Okay.
You'll see both of them and you'll understand.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, cool. And then Muzan's like, y'all failed me. And I'm like, whoa, Muzan, calm down.
Oh, calm down. Let's talk about this in a more sensible manner.
And he's like, how come you guys can't find the blue spider lily? I was like, oh, that's it. Muzan, you might want to cut your losses.
Oh.
And then I was like, after that whole shebang and everything, I was like, all right, cool. Muzan sends out, his demons, and he was like, all right, you guys are going to the swordsmith village or whatever. You guys are good. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we actually get to the swordsmith village, and I was like, cool. I left like halfway through because I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so, me walking out, I'm like, hey, I already know what happens anyway. And so I come back and I look at my brother and his fiance, and they look at me, and then I look back up at the screen because we're sitting in the front row, so we actually have to like recline our seats all the way back. So I look over at them, and they just shake their heads at me, indicating you didn't miss much. And so I was like, okay. And so I look up at the screen, and I see Tanjiro, with Nezuko on his back in the box, and he's talking with her and everything, and then they're walking into the forest, and so that's when he meets Muichiro, when he sees Muichiro and one of the kids from the village, and then he's like, oh, there's another person there. And it turned out to be the silhouette of the guy from the dream.
The Hanafuda.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, I know him. And I was like, boy, I know him too.
And then the movie stops.
And then I was like, all right, we getting somewhere. We're about to go in. And then it just stops. And I was like,
denied.
And I was like, that can't be it. That can't be it. And then my brother's like, are you all right? I was like, that can't be it. That can't be. I was like,
and then the lights started turning on.
Like we all sat. There was a whole bunch of us. We all sat there, and I was like, that seriously can't be it. And somebody else was like, we're missing so much. What the heck? How? And so then the lights turned back on. And I was like, are you kidding?
Oh my god. Okay, so
and then I asked my brother and his fiance as we left the theater. I was like, YouTube is probably gonna put this up on their movie page, and Dee was like, "You're gonna buy that just to watch an episode?" Episode? And I was like, "No, I'm gonna wait until that season actually is out so I can watch it." I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Man on a Mission. Well, actually, Man on a Mission did their thing when they played the opening.
Yeah,
I was alright.
The new opening, that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I was good with that. I mean, I was just mad.
All right, so now that we talked about your experience, because I know that you're fuming and you're ready to talk about what's gonna happen. Because I'm gonna let you off. Okay, so let me tell y'all this now. I know this is a little bit late in the episode to be mentioning this, but I'm gonna give Wesley the allowance to talk about the swordsmith arc in the manga, because I want to theorize how ufotable could have probably done this a little bit better. Before we get to that, let me talk about my experience. So as someone who's coming in who hasn't seen season 2, but I already knew what was going to happen or what they were planning on doing because of you telling me your experience about it 2 days prior, I was like, okay. So it's funny because my friends and my fiance was like, you didn't do your anime homework. You should have came into this a little bit more prepared. Like they were jokingly making fun of me because I was like, this was yet again another movie I was going into and I haven't seen the anime because I watched Reincarnated as a Slime, Scarlet Bond, and I went and watched that, and I have not watched anything of Reincarnated as a Slime. But now they're like, you did it again, Kushida, and I was like, in my head I was like, yeah, I did it again, but I already knew. I was like, they're not gonna be happy about this. I was like, It's fine. I'll get my due respects. Hold on one moment, sirs. So, we go into this. We're sitting down, we got our popcorns, we're all situated, we're all excited, right? And I'm excited because I can't wait to see their reactions. I'm here for their reactions. I'm here for the movie. I'm here to become entertained and to somewhat catch up on the last 2 episodes that I didn't watch. But I also was here to see what they would do. So, I'm sitting back, I'm like so giddy. I was like, yes, it's about to start. So, again, they played all the openings. I was like, I was bopping out to the ones I freaking knew. Mm-hmm. Then when I heard the season 2 opening, like for the entertainment arc, I was like, I missed this. I was like, yo, I need to listen to this, bro. It's like, oh, it's so freaking good. It's just so bombastic and flashy. I was like, yo, I freaking love it, and I know why it's like that for a reason. Now I completely understand. So, movie starts. I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, I was like, yep, they did it from season 1. So it starts, and we're in the middle of a fight. I was like, oh, this is the fight I've been seeing on TikTok and YouTube. It's been like, everywhere.
It was the fight with Tanjiro,
Daki.
Well, it was Tanjiro, Uzui, and then they were fighting against Gyutaro.
Yeah. So
Daki was fighting against Zenitsu.
So yeah, they basically summed up what all happened before this, which I have to say, I'll talk about this more when it comes to plot of a movie. This was a really weird thing to call a movie. So, we see that Uzui is on the ground. He's missing an arm. I freaked out. I was like, well, what? He loses an arm? Because like I said, I didn't watch season 2. And my only knowledge of this guy is the freaking Demon Slayer video game that we've been playing. And every time you choose him, I hate him because I'm like, he's so freaking flashy. I was like, man, I hate this guy. So I come into here, I'm just like, man, I don't like this guy already. And I see him down, I was like, oh no, come back. It's like, no, wait, go back. So he's on the ground, he's missing an arm. Zenitsu is asleep and he's kind of struggling a little bit. And I'm like, oh, he's asleep, he's in fighting mode. And I was like, and I didn't realize, because I never seen Zenitsu fight with his comrades before when he's in combat mode, as I like to call it. I didn't know how cognizant or how aware he is of he calls out to his other teammates and stuff like that. I'm like, you're asleep, you're talking. so I'm just like, what? He's just so serious. It's such a strange thing to me. And of course, come to find out, my homeboy is freaking Inosuke is dead on the ground. Dead. As I thought he was. So you see Daki, and I'm like, I hate you already. And I was like, wait a second, didn't freaking Nezuko get at you for a little bit? Nezuko's nowhere to be seen, so I instantly get even more worried. And then you see Gyutaro. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, the only thing going through my mind is, what is this character design? When I find out his backstory, then I started to cry. So I'm just kind of like, oh God, everything's already going down. So, I'm watching this and this is all new to me. So I'm like enjoying this. I'm eating this up like, candy. Then I look over to my fiance. It was like 5 minutes into it and I looked over at him and he said, I'm just now realizing what they're doing. And I was like, yes! It started! I was excited for the chaos. It was about to come out. What's funny is during this episode, before the movie started, 2 guys went off to the restroom. And when they were coming back, they were like, dude, are we missing anything? And I heard the guy behind me saying, nah, you see this? Have you seen episode 10? It's episode 10. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm here for. I'm ready to see the chaos that commences from this.
The chaos unfolds.
So, my fiance is already, the realization is already setting in. And he's already given up. So I look over. Unfortunately, we came with 2 friends, but I was sitting next to the wife. So I couldn't see my other friend's reaction on the other side. Because I didn't want to, make it obvious that I was only here for their reaction. So he's just sitting over there, as far as I know, and he's just fuming. My friend, the one that was sitting right next to me, she was just kind of watching, and she was calculating. Cause it's been a minute since she's watched it, but then she slowly starts to realize, because she makes a certain comment here in a little bit that I'll tell you. So, episode 10 goes through. then we see I was shocked. I was like, dude, freaking Tanjiro gets freaking sliced in the face, or like he gets the freaking thing jabbed into his face. I was like, what? I was like, oh my god, that's so terrible. And he's like having trouble breathing and everything. And Uzui's just kind of like, leave it off! And then, you know, you see the spiral slices and then fire. And because it's showing it from like far away, because it's like, you know, hidden to you, like, oh, something bad happened. And the first credit starts to roll. I'm like, so that's how episode 10 ends. That's pretty cool. Then we go to episode 11. It basically replays the ending of episode 10, but it shows what happened within that explosion. I was like, okay, cool. That's pretty awesome. I like this. So we're watching episode 11, and it's talking about the backstory of Yutaro. Yeah. Yutaro and Daki. But their name wasn't that. It was...
Daki's real name was Ume.
Yes, Ume. I was like, Ume. I was like, I think Ume means rain in Japanese. I could be wrong. But we see their time as a human. And you see how terrible of a time like they were having it. And I was like, oh my god, no, this is so sad. I legit cried. I cried when I saw like the killing, like what they did to Ume. I started to tear up then, and I was bawling my eyes out when he was like, when they were going off into the underworld, when they were going off to hell, and he said, you're not my sister anymore, you know, don't carry my name, you go that way and I go this way. He basically wants redemption for his sister. He's like, I am here to take all the pain so that you can be happy. But then when she said, did you forget our promise? Bro, tears started flowing. I was crying. Me and my friend, we were holding hands. We were crying. Oh man. The thing is, she's already seen this. But she was still crying with me. There was so much emotion going through my body. Right at that moment, I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. I was like, this is the thing about this anime. Not only does it make me hate the main villains, it also makes me feel for the main villains. I have never cried so much for different villains that I've hated. One moment, I was like, I hate the literal guts and your absolute being. But then when you see them in their human side, I was like, oh no. I was distraught. So was my friend. So after all of that, after we had our little crying fits and everything, and, you know, everything starts to settle down in episode 11, as they do. Because episode 11, it ends before Tanjiro gets to the healing, right? Or,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because, all the healing stuff happens afterward. Cool. Just want to make sure I got the timeline down correctly. So, after that, if we had a crying fit, we, like, sniffled and we, you know, we did all that. And then she was like, so when does the movie actually start? When she said that, I chuckled because I knew what was happening. Again, I looked over at Devin, completely like
stone-faced.
He's stone-faced because he's realized what's happening. And again, I couldn't gauge what was happening with my other friend because he was on the other side. And as I was told, he was just fuming. He was upset. He was like, I spent $50 because he bought 4 tickets.
Oh, yeah.
He spent $50 on this movie just to see episodes 10 and 11 again. So then we get to the actual movie, right? And like I said, them graphics, and then Daddy, and then
Domon.
And then we see how much infighting there is. And I'm like, ooh, this is not a put together group. You already see how fractured this group is.
Yeah.
That's a little bit scary. So I am a little bit worried about the future of that. Then after that,
Dude, you had demons, because the first one we obviously knew about was, you know, Akaza. And then, you know, then we got Domon, the daddy.
Daddy? Yeah. I just see how distorted and how messed up the upper, like, demons are. I was like, oh wow, that is scary.
And the fact is that Domon actually apologized. He's like, oh, maybe I should apologize for the fact that Kyuchiro got killed because I'm the one who turned him into a demon.
You know, it was my responsibility.
Yeah.
And when he was basically saying that, the way that he was so accepting of, like, you know, you can just punish me, I was like, ooh, stop right there. I was like, please stop. I cannot handle. So there was that. Oh, I forgot to mention the most funniest part of like my whole experience there. So before the movie started and the credits were rolling for episode 11, there was a guy 2 rows behind me, and he was like, "Well, that was a waste of a good hour. How's everyone's day going?" We all started having an open conversation, and he was like, "I know that's not the end." And then the swordsmith art starts. Like we see it start with the actual logo, and I was like, "That's kind of interesting."
Yeah.
So, of course, we go through that. We go through the meeting with the demons. We see the Hanafuda dude. So, I don't know anything about the Hanafuda guy. Dev knows a little bit about it. He's read a little bit of the manga. He's not that far ahead. You know, he's not at your level. But we see that. And then we go over to Tanjiro recovering. Turns out he was out for 2 months. The girl who never spoke to him, but, like, you know, lived until the last moments of season 1. Where she's like, you know, I can speak to you now because the coin said I could. Yeah. And, you know, he said, I'm going to flip a coin. And he said, I forgot exactly what his promise was. But I just remember that cute little interaction where he basically lied.
Oh, because he said that, like, he's like, if it lands on tail, if it lands on heads, then you'll have to speak from the heart and everything like that. So you no longer have to be silent. And so, you know, he threw the coin in the air, lands, he throws it again, lands, it gets heads. He was like, heads.
She was like, but you threw it twice, and he was like, I was going to keep going until it landed on heads. That was always like that cute interaction. That's what I just really like about her. I was just like, I don't know much, but I just know that she's just a really bad victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
But so we see that, we see the cute interactions happening. We find out that Zenitsu is on a mission. He's not happy because he woke up like 3 weeks early.
Inosuke's alright.
Everyone thought Inosuke was dead, but then, you know, he was like, oh, you know, the poison overcame him and everything, and then so Tanjiro was like, oh, so Zenitsu on the ceiling must just be an illusion, right? Everyone looks up, and he's just like,
he's just there.
I was like, Inosuke, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm so happy you're fine. So we see all those antics. I'm like, yo, this is really good. Especially after, like, the very harsh reality of the demon meeting. We see everything on the human side. Where people are, like, rejoicing over the fact that, you know, Tanjiro fought against an upper demon and all the stuff that's happened. Uzui is retiring, which is to be expected. I mean, he lost an arm, so, you know, no surprise there. Not surprised at all. So we're like, okay, so we're going to go to the swordsmith arc. Or the swordsmith village. I was like, yeah, cool. And it's really, I find it really smart. Like, you know, only so many people know the path. Like, they don't know the full path to there.
Yeah.
It's meant to be secretive. Understandable.
It was interesting the fact that first, Tanjiro was like, oh, did I get like a letter or something? And they're like, oh yeah, you received a letter, all right.
Like, oh, you received a couple letters, and you see homeboy is just like, die, shit. I was like, oh.
And like the thing I thought that was cool was that, like, you know, they gave Tanjiro the blindfold and everything plus the earplugs, and then they're like, oh yeah,
really good nose.
Since the smell, we're just gonna plug your nose up too. And I was like, dang, they making sure he can't find it at all.
He's not gonna be able to find this at all, which is understandable. I know the technique as to why, but I'm not gonna discuss that today. So, you know, we get to the swordsmith village. We meet the different swordsmiths. They're all wearing clown masks. Interesting. I understand they have to keep their identities hidden. Then we see the main leader, and he's like, oh, don't worry. When we find your swordsmith, he's going to be in for the punishment. I was like, I was like, oh, no. He's like, yeah, they break all the time, but it's his fault for giving you a defective sword. Because Tanjiro was like, I only chipped it this time.
It's not like it broke in half.
It's not like it broke in half like my first one. I'm just kind of like, dude, you have to give him some slack, man. So we see that, and he's like, oh, go to the spring house. Yay, we're going to go to the spring house. Before we get there, you know, everyone's happy because we see the love Hatsura and Mitsuri, and she was in the bath, and she stood up. Every person that was in the theater with me started clapping, and I was like, yay! I clapped as well.
In our theater, Like, when we saw Mitsuri stand up, we were like, alright.
They're like, ooh, some fan service, let's go.
We were like, alright. Somebody was like, finally, they didn't censor anything.
Because apparently a lot of people, like my friends explained it to me afterwards, they're like, yeah, we were really afraid that they weren't going to either like not show that scene or they were just going to see her head. But the fact that they did everything and they only censored it in the most tasteful way, we were like, yo! Go! Let's go! I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm joining in on the fun because I want to have fun with everybody else. and then we get to the lovely Tanjiro. See Mitsuri running out and she's like some guy in the hot springs is not talking to me. But the camera is just on her boobs. So again, the entire theater erupts in applause. They're like, yeah! Let's go! And I'm just like, I joined in too because I'm just like, yo, I'm having fun with everyone else. I was like, there's titties on screen, yo!
Your theater was crazy.
Yo, we were having fun with it. We was like, man, we just got gypped out of an hour, but yo, at least it all paid off. Boobies!
Oh my god.
Listen, man, we have to have fun. So that happened. Yeah, so that happened. We see the interaction with Mitsuri. I realized how sisterly Mitsuri is when it comes to Nezuko, and I was like, that's a really cute interaction. Of course, Nezuko is in her child form. So I'm enjoying this from the prospect of I get to see baby Nezuko again. Yo, I'm so happy. I'm so excited, dude. So we continue on, and then we get to the ending, and then that's when, like, when everything starts to ramp up, I'm like, oh, is something happening? We see the mist, Hatsura. Michiro. Sorry, Michiro. So we see Michiro, and I'm just kind of like, oh, and then we see Hanafuda guy. I was like, is this the demon that we just saw? I'm like, yo. I was like, yo, wait, hold on. Are we getting somewhere? And then, dun, like the thing ends, and then we see the new opening. I was just like, they got me yet again. I've been gypped. So everyone's sitting there because they're like, oh, we know this isn't the end. This can't be the end. We literally only sat here for one episode. Then house lights turns on and I'm like, yep, it's over. So I get up. My friend has to go to the restroom, so she runs down. So it's just me, my other friend, and then my fiance. So I get up because I have to stretch, and I look over at Devin. He's just kind of like, they really did that to us. So he was already accepting of it. I look over at my other friend, and he's just kind of like, I am so upset right now. Because you could tell on his face, he had a very calm face. Everything about his body language was so, like, angered. He was just like, I cannot believe I know. And I was like, dude, I was like, and so I said, hey, you guys want to know something? Yeah, I pulled that. I was like, hey, do you want to know something? I felt like I was on a podcast again. I was like, so I said, I came in here knowing that would happen. And Devin was just, he was, And then Kenneth was just kind of like, I spent $50 on 2 episodes that I've already seen. I'm already paying the subscription to watch it. And yet here I am paying more money to see it again. So yeah, I came here for that entertainment. And homeboy in the back was like, no, you did not just jit me out of an hour and 50 minutes just so that I can only watch 1 new episode of content. He was upset. Everyone else was kind of like, Alright. They got up and left. He's like, I'm about to head out. So I'm sorry, I had to like exaggerate mine because yet again, you know, to come into it from my perspective, I came into this not watching season 2 whatsoever.
Yeah.
Turns out I didn't really have much to miss. I only missed the initial investigations and the fight beginning with Daki and Gyotaro. So, you know, I will watch that. I will go back and see that. So, I know there's only like a little bit more of the episode left. This might be a slightly longer episode than I thought it was going to be. But, so, let's talk about what our expectations were and what could have possibly been done better. So, starting with you, when you first came into this, seeing everything, you know, you're all caught up to date with everything, what were your expectations for the movie? You can even go into some vague don't give out too much names and stuff like that. You can go into vague spoilers of the manga. So tell me, your expectations for Swordsmith arc.
I legit thought we were going to get something akin to kind of like Mugen Train, but we actually had an entire arc that was within the manga itself.
Okay.
Because if you have something that's called Swordsmith Village Arc,
yes.
Let me repeat that. Arc.
Yes.
That basically means you go from point A to point B.
The beginning of the arc all the way to the end.
Yes.
Yes.
All of that would have been contained within one singular movie. I don't care I don't mean to interrupt you.
No.
I don't care if they're gonna rehash this in season 3.
Okay.
I don't care. I would rewatch it anyway. I already did it for season 2 when they retold Mugen Train with added scenes. So I don't care. I would have watched it anyway. I would have still enjoyed it. I would have just been like, oh, that's how that happens. Oh, that's an interesting scene. I'd be perfectly fine.
Okay.
But no, I wanted. So they retold us 10 and 11. Perfectly fine. I'm all right with that.
All right.
The dream sequence, I'm all right with it.
Okay.
Because it's Tanjiro's ancestor. And then that person, I'm not giving out his name.
Okay.
But he is the epitome of what all the other breathing styles come from.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo.
And remember how we saw Upper Moon 1?
Yes.
The dude that had 6 eyes?
Yeah.
His name is Kokoshibo.
Kokoshibo.
Remember the dude that we saw in the dream? With the Harafuda earrings?
Yes.
That's his brother.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I'm leaving it right there.
We're leaving that part right there. Whoa.
And so at that point, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were legit gonna have a fight go down.
Okay.
Because we already set up everything with the demons. I legit thought the little pot demon dude that with the
surveillance.
Him. He shows up in the manga too.
Okay.
During this arc, that's when he shows up.
Okay.
So I thought we were legit gonna actually have a fight with another demon.
Okay.
Were
we getting to that point? Like, were they stopped off in the movie?
At that point, they were just they was gonna have another conversation, and then Tanjiro was probably gonna be like, I need a new blade anyway, because that's how he gets a new blade.
Okay.
And he just learns a new way of fighting with fire breathing.
Okay.
And and that would have been cool. And we would have actually saw Mitsuri fight. We would have actually saw Muichiro fight. Okay. And I was hyped. I was legit hyped for it. But then for me, only to get freaking blocked
I
got blocked by the movie itself. Being like, you thought you were gonna be like Mugen Train. Nah, son, we gotta hit you with one episode. Take it or leave it.
Because this is what I wanted to try to like gauge and see. Because I know with Mugen Train, the arc wasn't too long. It was enough for there to be a movie's length worth of stuff. Like, that could be all fit within a movie. It didn't have to be wasted on like episodes. Understandable. I completely understand that. And that worked out perfectly fine. What I was trying to gauge was, with the length of the Swordsmith arc, would that have been able to perfectly fit within a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Or would they would have to like do like okay.
It would have been able to.
Okay, so it would have been like Mugen Train.
There's been multiple times that Shane and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
And when Shane and I have talked about, remember back when we were at college?
Yeah.
And we would discuss it in like arcs.
Yeah.
And how we would start off from the beginning when season 1 was coming out. We were like, yeah, that is episode length, usual anime length. Yeah. We were like, Mugen Train, that's enough for a movie. And then we were like, Swordsmith Village, that's enough for a movie.
So Entertainment District is like enough for a season. Even though, from what I could see, because I think from what I remember, so first season was 26 episodes. There's 26 episodes. Then we had Mugen Train, one thing. Entertainment District was 11 episodes.
Which we could see it for.
Yeah, so it's a shorter. Yeah. But I think from what people have told me, from what you've told me, they put in more production value into this. So it makes sense, and no one's really all that upset that it was only 11 episodes. So like, there was not enough content within the manga for it to be stretched out any longer. Yeah. So it makes perfect sense. There was like no padding or anything. They just, it's following the manga pretty well, you would say. Yeah. So your expectations for when coming into Swordsmith Village is there's enough content right then and there for it just to be one movie.
Because then right after that, I would have been set for whatever the next season would have been. Because then it would have just went, hey, this happened. Give a little bit of a recap if need be for people who hadn't seen the movie because it's done before.
Yep.
And then you would have instantly been going into season 4 or whatever, and I would have been perfectly fine.
Yes.
I would have been like, cool. I would have did our little thing for what we usually do for these episodes.
Yeah.
And bada bing, bada boom.
You're right.
We would have been set. But no.
So
I feel cheated. Okay. Heavily cheated.
Okay.
I want my money back. I wasn't even the one who paid for it, but I feel like I want my money back.
Okay.
Mention the fact I'll probably put most of them songs on my. I only have like one song on my playlist. I'll probably put both of those other ones on there too.
I'm putting these on my playlist as well because. Alright, this is what I told Wesley. I said if they felt like they weren't going to have enough content, because I was really confused as to why they also just put seasons 2, last 2 episodes, episode 11 and 12, and then one that was like the length of, I would say, Rising of a Shield Hero. Mm-hmm. So that episode's length was that of Rising of a Shield Hero. I was like, if they were worried about Swordsmith Village being too long for a movie, they didn't want to pull off, I don't know, endgame levels of length, which for the movie was like 2.5, almost 3 hours long, then why didn't they just do what Rising of a Shield did for season 1 and just have the first episode be an episode and a half?
Yeah.
You know, I was very confused by that. Because, I mean, I asked Wesley, and Wesley was like, no, they had enough content to be able to freaking put it in a movie itself. Mm-hmm. So I don't fully understand what ufotable is doing right now.
Neither do I.
Because a lot of people, they went and watched it and they were happy with what they got. Okay, they weren't entirely happy with what they got. They were excited to see, but they were like, why did you just rehash older episodes as part of a movie? Because that's leading to very questionable business practices. We're like, what's going on at the studios? There's something going on at the studios. Is there a reason why we've been cut so much content, or why we're seeing redone content already? You've seen what you did with season 2. It was beautifully done, epic and everything and all that. What's going on with this movie?
Yeah.
Because even as like, okay, if they were worried about there not being able to have enough time to put in a fight scene, let me tell you about how a usual movie goes. And this goes for anime movies as well, because this is what happened in Mugen Train. Mugen Train, we start off with like an introduction. We have like a small little fight. We think everything's gone well. Then we have another down, like, you know, a lull in the action and everything. We see conflicts happening with everybody in the group. So, you know, we start off at a medium, we go to a high, we go down a little bit past the medium of like excitement and action. There's a lull, there's stuff happening in between, but it doesn't go all the way back up until the climax of the movie. Yeah. And then there we go. That's how typically a movie goes. Anyway, we have that kind of progression. Yeah. With this movie, we start off with a high in the action like department. Like we're mid-fight. It's so high that we've actually like gone a little bit past the initial point in the initial peak, because the peak happened a little bit before this movie, and then we reached that peak again. So we're already like, I'm already lost in a movie sense, because the flow chart of like action that's happening here is really, really off. Why start out not at a fight? We're mid-fight. This fight already has started. You've already expected your audience. Okay, you already know what's going to happen. So here we're going to start off mid-fight. That is a little bit off. Like, I can understand. So I'm going to give you slight spoilers. If you want to start off a movie with a fight, that's perfectly fine. Let me tell you about Reincarnated as a Slime Scarlet Bond. We start off with a fight, but guess what? That fight was like, the fight's not really like, this fight isn't really all that pertinent. It is kind of pertinent to the plot, but like, it's not something that we start off in the middle of. A guy, like, yeah, we see two swords, like, you know, clash together. This is building up to, like, the backstory of the character that we focus on in the middle of that movie. It's really hard for me to explain, because you need to watch it for yourself to truly understand what I'm trying to say. But let's just say that fight that starts off with the movie that we kind of start off in the middle of, it ends right then and there. It's not a very long, like, drawn-out fight. It just serves as like, all right, here's a reason why this character gets named.
Okay.
And it's just like a very generic fight, you know, clashes happen, stuff like that. Dude is on the cusp of being dead. He gets saved, he gets named, and then we continue on with the movie. The fight for Tanjiro, for the start of this, is literally, alright, this is the climax of season 2. We're past like that initial peak because Nezuko is not fighting anymore. She's back in her box. Her bamboo's gone. So much plot relevant things happened within that fight that for someone as me coming in, I'm lost. Why is Uzui on the ground missing an arm? What happened for that? That's already been established, and it's like this fight, the way that it's played out is, you know, oh, this fight's already been going on. If you've seen last episode, you'll know what's happening. That's not what I need right now. It's so confusing. I was like, okay, because I come in with so many questions. Uzui's on the ground bleeding. He's probably dead. I'm thinking he's already dead. Zenitsu is underneath rubble in a burning building. Inosuke, it's been shown that he was stabbed in the back by freaking Gyutaro. And I'm just kind of like, oh my god, okay, so that happened. You know, Daki's head didn't get cut off because she's had her stupid little ribbon thing, whatever. There's just so much has already happened up to this that you're supposed to come into this already knowing like what's happened in the fight and everything. For someone like me, that's a very confusing like action line to follow because I'm like, what? So then I go down to the lull where Tanjiro, it looks like Tanjiro's been defeated and stuff like that, which first off, he has really good planning skills. Again, this just brings me back to episode 1 when he's fighting against, I know I'm going off on such a tangent, I'm sorry. But we see, you know, Tanjiro's amazing freaking like planning skills and everything like that. Then we go back up to a high and then we see things that's happened. And then the rest of the movie, which is like a little more than half of what we've been seeing so far, just conversation and the action line is down. So when you start off with such a high action level and then you end with such a low one, and the low one's gone, it's been drawn on, and then we start reaching up to another action point when we get into the forest, and then that's when you cut off the movie, that's just weird.
No,
sorry.
I get you, because that seems weird.
Yeah.
To just do.
Because
it throws everything off.
Yeah.
And at that point, there's no redemption. At that point, there's no. Hey, you need a med kit? Here you go. We're gonna help you. There's nothing.
Because now, okay, so this is supposed to be episode 1 of season 3.
Yeah.
So, okay, so how long will this season be? Will it be another 11 to 12 episode season? If that's the point, how are they going to draw out this arc? Because from what you're telling me,
and the fact that like,
it's almost as short as Mugen Train.
Because like they didn't even do a lot of promotional stuff for.
They did not.
Because all we actually got.
Literally, I remember just going on my very way, and I'm just kind of like, you know, in my head, I was thinking season 2 is still going on, or it's coming close to ending. So I'm like, okay, well, season 2 is going on right now. That was what was going on in my head. That's why I haven't watched season 2, because I was like, I want to wait for season 2 to get finished before I watch it, because I tend to just binge episodes by seasons.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I did with freaking My Hero Academia. That's what I do with a lot of things, is I don't like waiting for a week for things to come out. So, you know, I was just like, all right, well, once season 2 is over, I'm going to watch all of it all at once. All of a sudden, my fiance is messaging me in my group chat, asking me and my other friends, hey, do y'all guys want to go see the movie? I was like, movie? Wait, aren't we in season 2? And then I was then again told, hey, season 2 only has 11 episodes. So I'm lost. I'm like, it didn't even reach the 12 episode mark? That's weird. Most anime seasons go to episode 12 or 13. If they're going to be like, you know, short seasons.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if we look at My Hero Academia seasons, they're like 25, 26 episodes. So I was thinking, like, you know, they're going to do what they did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just...
You're good.
And
it's just weird. Like, once again, I'm going to keep stating it. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's like, why? Like I know what Ufotable's capable of.
Yeah.
They
have a really good, you know, resume.
They have a really good track record too.
Yes.
Because like
they've done the fates here.
we went from Fate. I know I'm going on a tangent right now, but it's needed. They went from Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, mind you, because Fate Stay Night was done by Dean's Fate.
Yeah.
They did Unlimited Blade Works. They did Heaven's Feel 1, 2, and 3.
They did Grand
Order. Then they did the movie for Grand Order, and then whatever else is coming afterward.
They did the season for Grand Order as well.
And then we also got Demon Slayer. All of Demon Slayer.
Like they've done Demon Slayer from start to finish.
Yeah. So my only question, ufotable, if you're listening, what the heck did you do to make this mess happen? What is going on in your studio right now?
Because I just don't understand the decisions that went behind this quote-unquote movie. You did not show us a movie. You just showed us episodes 11 and 10 and 11.
Snippets of each individual thing.
Yes.
Then you decide, let me at least show you so we ain't wasting your time.
Yeah.
Let's show you episode 10. Let's show you episode 11. And then let's proceed with the quote-unquote movie.
Like, that was just, like, if you needed backstory or something to go into...
You even started it off with text on screen, basically outlining, hey, this is Tanjiro Kamado. This is Nezuko Kamado.
Yeah.
This is Zenitsu. This is Inosuke. And then laid out their entire journey through text.
Yep.
And then proceeded to give us bangers. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I was so lost by that. And then it's just, I'm just so confused. And you can even tell that they did this very, very intentionally. Because when it came to freaking 10 and 11, before it would show Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Entertainment District arc for the first 2 episodes. So I was like, they were very distinct about that. Plain white text you see at the bottom that says Entertainment District. And then when we went to the movie Kimetsu no Yaiba, Swordsmith arc, Swordsmith Village arc. I'm like, okay, they specifically are like, okay, yeah, we're showing you the first 2 episodes. There's no going around, there's no beating around the bush. We're showing you the last 2 episodes. Here you go, freaking Swordsmith Village arc. Okay, Swordsmith Village arc. It's the last part of the movie. It is not even a movie. It's an episode. There's barely any plot. If anything, that is very, very much first episode material right there.
Yeah.
So what do you, is this gonna be, I just want to know if what we're getting next would be enough for another season. Because from what I could tell, from what I kind of like understand, Entertainment District had enough stuff for there to be different episodes. I don't know if there's going to be enough stuff in here that's going to be for episodes. That's my main worry, because you very heavily emphasized to me that there's enough stuff in here for a movie. How are they going to put that as episodes if they're going to do this as an episode, or if we're just going to get a Swordsmith Village arc part 2 movie?
No. Y'all already made me lose a little bit of faith in y'all. So if you're gonna go about the episode type deal, either go with 12 episodes or however long you can do. If you can do 12, do 12. If you can do 20, do 20. I'm legit fuming right now. But that's the only way to redeem yourself. Either you go 12 or you go 20.
Yeah.
24 at max.
And if need be, if this is not enough for like a season, okay, because from what I can understand, this isn't going to be enough for even like a 12 episode season. If anything, this arc is probably, from what I could try to understand, this arc is probably only going to be 3 to 4 episodes. Congratulations. Have this blend into the next arc.
Yeah, it's pretty much all you really can do. And then at least do some better promotional stuff for whatever you're gonna do. Don't sit here and just have a rolling scroll that just details, oh, here's all of season 1, here's all of Mugen Train, and then have nothing toward the end, and then only show Mitsuri and Muichiro, and then just say Swordsmith Village arc coming soon. That is not the way to do it.
Yes. Because this is, okay, so this is just, this is how I'm going to lay it out, in all honesty. I'll be more disappointed if this actually comes out as a season than I would be if it just came out as a movie part 2. Mm-hmm. If this came out as a movie part 2, I will kind of be upset, but I'll be more accepting of it, because if this comes out as a season, if they try to stretch this out into an entire season, I'll be highly upset if this does come out in episode form. First, I'll be speculative, because let me tell you what's going to happen. We already have episode 1. So when episode 1 drops for that week, we're just getting this.
Yeah.
We're just getting the last part of that movie.
Pretty much.
And a lot of people who went and saw the movie, they paid for the movie, are just going to be pissed because they're just rewatching the movie, basically.
Yeah, like I said, I'll still rewatch it, and I'll be mad, but I'll still watch it nonetheless.
Yes. And then, then we'll get on to, the new content afterwards. I don't know. Okay, I know that we usually try not to go in too hard on good anime. We've watched bad anime intentionally, King's Game. And we've dug into that because, we felt like it was necessary because it was a bad anime. This is a high production, good anime series up until this point. Mm-hmm. It kind of hurts me on my respect towards ufotable with this series. As far as I could tell, they've been doing really good with this series. I'm only an anime watcher, but from what I've been told, they've been following the manga. They've done pretty good. This is going to be a topic for another episode, probably the next episode, wink wink, nudge nudge. When it comes to showing anime movies that are part of a series, they've been doing good so far, especially with Mugen Train. It happened in the manga. It's legit canon. Mm-hmm. And it just follows into the next season really well. So I was so expecting for them to do that again and to show the anime world this is how we do tie-in movies that actually follow the plot of the series. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this will be another argument for another episode. But how they handled this one makes me you were doing so well up until this point, what happened? Because I'm pretty sure the Swordsmith Village arc could probably follow the action flow line pretty easily. I just don't know what was going on in their minds.
Neither do I.
So yeah, sorry y'all, this turned into a really large rant. We were mainly talking about our experiences with the movie. But I feel like that's all we could do because this movie really didn't give us much info, especially info you already know if you've watched season 2.
Yeah.
This was literally just an episode's worth of things for season 3. Did I say episode 2 to season 2?
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah. Sorry y'all for holding y'all up for a little bit over an hour. I mean, this might get shortened down to not even an hour, but still, it's just there was a lot we had to just get off of our chest because, we both stated, we're just disappointed. Yeah. But y'all, thank y'all for coming in. Sorry for the very turbulent episode that we have here. I think this is one of our more passionate episodes.
Probably.
But okay, guys. Thank you all for stopping by.
And we hope you've enjoyed your visit to
the Underground Geek Shack. See you guys.